Hey everybody, welcome to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, and we're back for the third episode in my 6th Age of Wonders 3 Advanced Strategy series. I have finished clearing out a fire node at the last episode. Still have managed to somehow not lose anyone yet. Well, hopefully that trend will continue. I want to start this episode by making a brief just clarification for something I've been saying for a while. I've been talking about getting scouts. I've been talking about using Raised Militia to get scouts. I'm actually forgetting that the Warlord, they actually have a unit that's literally called Scout. You can actually see what a Goblin Scout can do right here. Notably, they don't have tunneling. In my opinion, the Goblin's best Scout is actually the Untouchable. Now, these guys do have swimming, which is something the Untouchable doesn't have. And they also have sprint, which can be helpful when trying to run away from lost souls or something like that. But, and my Untouchables won't have that because I picked the other race governance upgrade. But Raise Militia, once I start summoning that, I'm going to use it to get Untouchables, and they're going to be my scouts. So I'll try to distinguish between those two terms a little more clearly in the future. And that was that was from several people actually. From Archbadbeard and Kusa rules, it said making the siege workshop instead of getting the second city vassalage was a mistake. I 100% agree with this. When I started building the siege workshop, I'd sort of forgotten that I still needed to get them as a vassal, and you can actually see I'm going to get 48 gold income per turn out of that, plus the 16 mana and 8 knowledge. That's really important for me to get as early as possible. So, if you look at the progress I've made, the siege workshop will be done on the next turn. I'm not going to cancel that now. I'd waste a couple turns of production if I did. I'm just going to let it finish. But after that, I'm going to probably maybe take one turn and just produce merchandise to make sure I get enough to get this city. I am going to make a little bit of money when I fight these halflings, though, and take over that gold mine. So that'll help a little bit. And if I'm lucky, I may be able to find a gold pile. I'll get to that in a second, because I think I am going to use one of these units up here to start doing some scouting, now that most of the stuff in my immediate area is cleared. In the last episode, I was discussing whether or not to build a fort in this area, because I was worried about my city's borders expanding eventually and the fort blocking them. Basically, it's better to have... My city's borders will eventually expand to the point where they can get the gold mine and the mana node. The mana node being at max possible size for a warlord, which is 10 spaces away from the city center. Generally speaking, it is better to have these mines and resource generating structures in a city's borders rather than a fort, because for one thing, produce merchandise gives you a 50% bonus, but you also get more bonuses on top of that based on city happiness. So the forts don't get any of that. They just get the flat base amount, which for a gold mine is 10 income. And then for this fire node, it's actually only plus 5 because I have water mastery, but normally it would be plus 10. But that being said, Red Marut made a pretty good case for going ahead and building the fort there anyway, and I agree with him. It's going to, I think having the income now is going to be more beneficial to me for helping me getting off to a good start. On top of the fact that this city is probably going to be making a lot of settlers, which is going to slow down its growth overall anyway. Plus, I'm planning on producing a lot of units here, so it'll be a while before I make the Grand Palace. I think in the long run, it's actually better to build the fort out here. And on top of that, I can also technically destroy the fort later once the city's borders do get that far out. But we won't have to worry about that for a while. Oh, I just took a screenshot, apparently. Okay. I don't even know what key I just hit to do that. It would actually be kind of nice to know. Use the Blight Doctor, also from Red Marut. Last comment for this episode is to use the Blight Doctor's extra abilities to get some extra mana out of extra XP. Basically, that kind of Steel Enchantment is the main one there. I've been using Weakening pretty consistently, but primarily Steel Enchantment is something I need to remember to use with them to squeeze a little bit more XP out of battles. Speaking of battles, we do have a couple coming up here, so I'm going to reorganize my units just a bit. I'm going to leave this guy... has 0 movement left, so I can't really do anything with him on this turn. I'm going to move that Marauder there, though. And then I'm going to move the Warg here. And I'm going to attack with Mogwai. And this battle is a really easy battle But I'm gonna definitely do manual combat anyway, in part because I don't want anything funny to happen, and also in part because I have a lot of units with healing abilities. So this easy battle is a good way for me to get the health back up of some of my units. Oh, they crippled the warg right off the bat. It'll be a good way for me to overall get the health back up on most of my units before the next battle with the halflings, which is going to be a little more difficult, although probably not like really hard because they're halflings and they're underground, so they won't be very happy. Well, this guy's doing okay for himself. Oh, because he's in Fertile Plains. You know, the other one might be in Fertile Plains too, now that I think of it. So they might still get lucky. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that. But anyway, we've got these guys closing in here. I'm going to let them get a little closer. I'm going to... Well, I need... For this first round, I want to focus on healing for the most part. So you are down 15 health exactly, like on the nose. So I'm gonna, and that restores 15. So I can heal the Warg Rider. I can heal... I felt like somebody else had a healing ability too, but maybe it is just the two of these guys. I'm going to actually have him probably heal... Wait, where's Mogwai? Mogwai's at close to full health. Okay, so she's gonna run back here and heal this guy on his way through. She can kind of get him with Nourishing Meal. I can go like that and then move him over here. Probably leave him facing this direction. And Ironheart the Warg Rider. This also gives me a chance I can get them behind cover. We'll open up with Weekend shortly, but not quite yet. And I want the Butcher sort of here, positioned kind of halfway behind cover, with the Blight Doctor behind him. And Mogwai can just sort of hang out here in the middle and hopefully draw some fire. And, whoops. Again, getting this game's controls confused with Planetfall. Oh, I didn't actually mean to leave those Marauders sitting out there by themselves. Okay, so they want to go after my Marauder. Alright, or my Pikeman. Well, that's not going to be allowed. Let's move her here. She can probably come pretty close to killing him. I'm sure I can finish him off with a different unit without any trouble. These guys, I'm going to move to this tile here. Oh, should have used them against the elves. That's okay. Mogwai can just charge in and get a flank attack, so that's what he will do. The Butchers, I would prefer to move and heal somewhere. You can move there. Now, I don't actually think I have any more healing, so I'll have to wait until the next battle to do that. But I wish that Warg Rider wasn't crippled. I'm gonna just hold everybody up over here so he can't really get a very good shot on anything. And back all these units up. If I can, I would like to try to weaken that guy, but I don't think that's going to happen on this turn. Now, I do need to remember to get somebody in position to steal Enchantment in a moment. Alright, go ahead and throw your dumb rocks. Alright, that's not the worst thing that could have happened. Now, Bestow Ironheart, I'm pretty sure is a once per battle healing. Yes, it is. So, only one unit has it. Can I steal... I'm wondering if I can steal the Nourishing Meal if that's counted as an enchantment. Steal one effects. It looks like I can. Hang on, I'm going to try this. This would be actually kind of goofy if this works. Nourishing Meal stolen, but he retained the healing from it. Okay, that's really cool. And that buffed his max health. Okay, that's actually really disgusting when you think about it. The goblin literally just stole the food right out of that dwarf's stomach. I had no idea you could steal enchantment with Nourishing Meal. That kind of made my day a little bit. Alright, cool. Well, I can still steal enchantment here, so steal Bestow Iron Heart from that guy. But it's nice that he still retains the health bonus from it. Alright. And that's that for those guys. Okay. Next group is going to be this little gold mine here, which I'm going to move. So I got to move units a bit carefully here, but I think I know what I'm doing. I'm going to use the warg to trigger this one. This is a very likely victory. I should be okay as long as I don't get tremendously unlucky, but I still got to watch my unit's health. There's a couple that are kind of low, and I do have casting points, so at least there's that. And the fireworks. You know what? That guy, the jesters, I hate the jesters. They go down first. I don't want to deal with dazzled or any of those effects. Drive me crazy. Halfling adventurers, trying to make sure there's no farmers. That would be bad for mounted units. I'm gonna probably shoot the jester with the druid, most likely. But I need to also make sure that... How's Mogwai doing on health? He could use a Bestow Iron Heart. So could this guy. The Jester needs to go first. I can Nourishing Meal with her later. Yeah. I'm not messing around with these guys. Let's get them out of here. Now, they're going to run forward and be a little bit of a pain. I kind of wish the Marauders were over there with their shields, but they're not. So I'm going to have to do something else about these guys. I could charge in with the Warg Rider, be really aggressive here, and but then that leaves me potentially vulnerable to a Throw Cleaver, which is actually quite powerful. Don't think I'm going to do that. I think the best move here is to probably heal these guys, give them Bestow Iron Heart, and try to get them to where they're sort of... Actually, I would like to tempt the cavalry into coming after them. I'm just not sure how much damage to expect coming from these guys. Mogwai might be able... I might be able to kill one more unit here, actually. I need to just make sure that I don't move anyone so close that... Yeah, see the... That guy can reach. I'm worried about everybody ganging up on one unit, but Mogwai may have... Okay, I've got Vengeful Frost, which doesn't really help me a lot because Mogwai is also the main source of being able to deal damage right now. I could still kill an Adventurer with a combination of Vengeful Frost, but that still leaves the Warg Rider too open to counterattacks. At least the Pony Rider can't reach me. The worst that can happen is these guys all gang up on one unit, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to kill anything from where they're currently at. So I'm going to probably leave my units where they're at now. Mogwai can probably... You know what? Using Vengeful Frost doesn't really help me here. So I'm going to have him defend. If they threw everything at the dwarf, they wouldn't kill the dwarf. But I'm going to... You know what? The Goblin Butcher's got increased defense. So I'm going to put him here and see how much damage. 1 to 2 times 3. I think he would actually be okay here because of Bestow Iron Heart. I would like to lure the Pony Rider into attacking him if I can. He should be okay. I can move the war guys over here. That should be okay. And I want probably... I'll put the Marauder here. I was thinking about putting him there to block that route off and try to draw some fire, but I don't really want him to get separated from everybody else. This looks good to me, I think. We're gonna go with this. Alright, they're gonna light up. Okay, they're going to light that guy up as best as they can, which isn't going to do much. I really hope... Nope, he's not going to take the bait on the pikeman. That's too bad. Okay, well, next best thing. I might use a spell now, because I do want to get rid of that butcher. If he gets too close, and also his nourishing meal ability, I don't really want him to have a chance to use that. And I don't want him to get too close. So, because those cleavers are really powerful. So I probably want to try to kill him. I'm thinking I'm going to use the elf to do it. I could get really aggressive with people here and probably kill off a bunch of these guys. The butchers could pretty easily take out an adventurer on their own. Between Mogwai and her, I should be able to kill the butcher in the back. Okay, I've got some ideas here. All right, I think it's time to get aggressive. I'm gonna move her to this spot so I can see how much damage she can do on the Brew Brother. 8 to 12. If I weaken him, I can do a little bit more, but at a minimum, that's 24. So I may not need to weaken him. I may be able to use an attack on somebody else. So if Mogwai uses Vengeful Frost, that's a minimum of 9. So what did I calculate? 24 plus 9, that would be 33. At a 36 health, if I absolute min roll that, I wouldn't kill him. Or if he gets lucky, which he might get lucky. So I'm going to use Weakening on him. Alright, now really still hoping he doesn't get lucky here, because that would suck. Also trying to avoid using mana if I can, because I'm going to need it here pretty soon. Alright, he's very close to dead. I think I can finish him off with the Blight Doctor without needing to use Mogwai's spell. I should be able to anyway. This guy is going to run forward and just kill that guy. Oh, he didn't kill him. How did he not kill him? I thought the minimum damage was 17. That would have been 34. He can't really do anything now, but... Okay. As for the dwarf, halflings have a little bit higher resistance, I think, so throwing bolts of magic at them won't be quite as helpful. Divine Protection doesn't really help me here. I think I'm gonna start by using this guy. I'm gonna start by running Mogwai forward, actually, because I think I'm going to need him towards the front. I'm going to use this guy, position him here, and shoot a couple bolts at that guy in the back just to make sure he dies. And then at this point, I think getting rid of unit action points is probably good. I would like to probably run the warg. How much? I think they can go 3 spaces, so 1, 2, 3. And then he could go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. So he can, the warg can still reach that spot even if he goes out around the other way, which is good because I think I want the Marauder to be able to reach one of these units. Like that guy, just to do a little damage or slow him down or something. Mogwai may need to charge. He can't charge all the way through though, because of other units in the way. This is a little confusing, but I think there's a way to figure it out. Alright, who do I have left? No, not in combat round. Got the Marauder, the Warg Rider, Mogwai, the Dwarf. Just these, so just these 4 here to work with. Mogwai's got a pretty good range attack that he could actually use to turn that adventurer around, allowing the dwarf to run through with no real challenge. Although the dwarf would still have to kill... No, somebody's still got to finish off that adventurer if this is going to work. And the dwarf's the prime candidate to actually do that. Mogwai could... Mogwai has 3 moves left. He could go 1, 2, 3. So I think without this guy in the way, he could reach... How much damage would they do if they just charged that adventurer? 22 to 32. If the dwarf moves up 4 to 6, that's theoretically enough. And then if Mogwai could 1, 2, 3 move around, he could get to the other side of that guy and finish him off if he needed to. I think I'm going to try to kill this guy with the warg. I don't really want to charge the dwarf in because he's at like half health right now. So... somebody still has to kill this guy, and that's a problem. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is use this guy to kill that adventurer, because he's just in the way. I'll have Mogwai come running around, preferably from that other side, and charge attack these guys in the back. Well, it's not in the back, but they won't do much damage in retaliation. Okay, that takes out pretty much all of their health, which allows the Marauder to get the finishing hit on them. Yeah, I think I've got this now. They, with a charge bonus, they get 12 to 18 on them. It's 12 to 18 on either, but the Warg Rider has more health, so I'd rather have him be engaged with these guys. Okay, and that gets rid of one of their action points, and the Pony Rider is the only thing left, and he can't kill anything, no matter what he does, as far as I know. Alright, now I still have a healing. I've got Nourishing Meal, so I want to use that. I also want to use my Steel Enchantments for extra XP. And then that guy should be easy pickings to finish off. So, Nourishing Meal on the Marauder that just took a beating. And then you can steal that enchantment from him. You can steal Bestow Iron Heart from that guy. And he leveled up as a result of that. I'm going to have this guy get a couple cheap shots off on him to try to level up. And then Mogwai can just finishing move. Okay, several level ups there too. I think 3 units, 2 of which were heroes. No, 5 units in total leveled up in that battle, 2 of which were heroes. Not bad. Okay, so now that... Oh wait, all 3 of my heroes leveled up, plus 3 regular units. That was a really good battle for me. Okay, so Mogwai now, I think at this point I would like him to pick up martial arts. He's doing a little more fighting. Need to help keep him alive. Martial arts is a great ability for a warlord. And that leaves me with 3 points left, which I don't really know. I think War Health would probably be ideal. Other things like Overwhelm are also nice, but they're fairly easy to get on a weapon, especially make your own later in the game, because Overwhelm's not very expensive. So I may hold off on that for now. Probably more hit points from Mogwai, I think. How much? He's got 3 here. Next level he'll have... Maybe I'll hang on to those, because then I could get both melee and ranged command on the next level up, which would be kind of nice. I think for now martial arts is good. I just need to be a little careful with him because his health is still pretty low. As for the druid, she is up to 11 points now, which I was saving for something. She may have leveled up a battle ago, because it seems like she's leveled up twice now. She can get Befriend Animal, which I can't really make use of quite yet. Probably Natural Healer would be a good one to pick up right now. Nature's Resistance, I think I'm going to have her lead her own army, so extra resistance is always good. And maybe more range strength. In fact, another level of range strength is only 1, so I'll take that. I think I'm going to leave a few on hand just in case a Befriend Animal option pops up. Call Ancestral Spirits is another good one, and she has enough to cast it. That actually might be what I go with, now that I think of it. Being able to summon an extra unit to the battle that does spirit damage would be remarkably useful for her. And the Theocrat can just continue to follow around Mogwai for now. She's got plenty of healing on her own. What level is she? Level 5. I need to make sure she's got, I think it's 7 points for healing at level 7. 6 or 7 points, something like that. So I think for now, Ancestral Spirits is a good call for her. Just being able to bring units into the battlefield is nice. That would be a nice thing to have in my back pocket. So, and then probably, I don't know, maybe a little extra hit points just to top that off. She won't be converting any animals anytime soon, but if I spot some, I'll be sure to not kill them until she can get it. Like, I know there's those guys up here, some spiders in that ruin, but I don't see myself clearing that anytime particularly soon. Okay, now with I noticed those haste berries out there, which is why I moved the Marauder to this spot. I want to have him kind of start to go off on his own and scout a little bit. What do we have here? A Pillar of Champions? Wait. Column of Champions. And of course it's got a spider on it. As soon as I didn't pick Befriend Animal for her, now would be the perfect time for her to have that. Of course I could clear the Column of Champions, but nuts. Okay. Let me see what's a little further down the road. There is a bandit camp over there. Coming out here to clear that bandit camp may not be a bad idea. I'm going to send this guy back in this direction to see if there's anything else in this cavern. Nope, there is nothing. Okay. I think with that Column of Champions being out here, I want this group... I want to try to get a ton of XP off of her for this next battle, and I think I can, particularly at a bandit camp, because she could sit just outside range of their attacks and keep shooting arrows. And then if I can get Befriend Animal, she could come back. We might even be able to clear that lost library, depending on what's in it. But if I can get Befriend Animal, she could come back and get that spider and start leveling it up. Okay, that gives me at least something, a basic goal to work towards with this group. Now I'm sort of wishing that I hadn't picked up the haste berries with that Marauder. That wasted a bit of time, but then again, to keep the whole army together, they were going to have to... Only one group would have been able to get haste berries anyway. That being said, only one group can fit in there. Yeah, I don't have anybody that can tunnel here yet, so... It does look like there's a road up here. Normally those are connected to cities. So maybe there's another city up here too. So I think it might be worth sending my army in this direction anyway. But I'm going to probably just get them into a group of 6 for now. Probably the 3 heroes for all their combined healing. The Butcher and the Warg Rider, I think. And then maybe one of the Blight Doctors. That guy, what does they get at gold rank? Inflict exhausting fatigue and enfeebling fever. I'm going to bring the other one, actually, to try to level him up to gold rank. And then this group is going to ignore that column of champions for now and try to find other things to go fight. They should be powerful enough to do okay on their own now at this point, I think. Everyone else, I think I want to fall back to the city just in case just in case there's something to the south I don't know about that tries to come attack me. I don't want to get caught off guard. So that will be okay for now. And then, of course, the Theocrat gets to upgrade too. Sacred Arms is great. Eventually, these guys are really going to need all their own units. Chaplain only works if the unit is leading the army. I think I'm going to probably pick up Touch by Faith, because that's a good way to both buff units and gain more XP. Strong Will maybe later. I don't feel like I need that quite right now. He doesn't actually have Smite yet, which is a notable omission from his arsenal, but how much does Smite normally cost to use? 12? Okay. I'm used to it costing less, because in my last game I had the destruction spell that makes instant damage spells cheaper to cast, or more effective, or maybe both. I don't remember off the top of my head. Healing Aura only works when the hero is leading the army. So actually, that natural healing on her was a waste, because it's not really helping anyone. I think for this dwarf, probably more HP, honestly. He's a little... All my units feel what feels like not very much health. Of course, this is also coming off of a different series where everyone was super buffed up, so now everyone just feels really weak again. But yeah, I think this is okay. And then we'll get Inspire Loyalty, which is going to help out with unit upkeep here pretty soon. I think that's all I can do on this turn. That's about as good as it gets. I may leave that Marauder out here to keep running around, maybe follow those roads and see where they go. But I gotta watch out for bandits, so we'll see if this structure spawns any more of them. It did not on this turn, which is good. That should allow me to get in there and... Oh, there's a halfling assassin in that group that I didn't notice before. I should still be okay. They rely pretty heavily on poison damage, which my units resist as long as I can keep them away from the elf. But I might actually just use spells to kill him, because I just don't want to deal with him. Okay. Some dwarves over there that... that would be a tough battle. I'm betting this road goes somewhere, though. You're gonna keep following that road. It's got to go to a city or something, or it's going to lead me right to Marauders. And he's just going to die, because there could be some out there. Alright, well, this battle should be doable. I'm going to move Mogwai onto the spot, because he'll probably drop an item. I'll do manual combat. Now, the goal I have to remember of this one is level up the elf as much as possible. She's going to start off with a Root Spears on that assassin, I think. Which is right up front. Now, the halfling... Okay, they don't have sprint, so that's good. Actually, they don't really have a way of getting to her. Can she shoot them from here? No, not quite from here. Alright. Can any of them shoot her from that spot? No. Alright, we're going to move everyone cautiously forward, trying to stay out of range of any range attacks. Right now, everyone is okay. And I'm going to Root Spear the heck out of that halfling. And just pray that this doesn't miss. I could get Ancestral Spirits. Would that be worth it? I don't really want the Ancestral Spirit hogging XP from this battle, though. No, I don't need them for this one. I want Root Spears. I want to damage him. Okay, he resisted root spears, that's fine. I'm going to... Well, I can move the Theocrat up and maybe just get a couple cheap shots off on him. Actually, what I'm going to do is touch by faith on her first. I'll move Mogwai up over here. They may swap units in and out. They might... Well, no, they can't actually hit me with anybody yet. I think this setup's fine, actually. I don't think they can hit anything. Unless they all rush out right after her, but that seems unlikely. And the assassin, most importantly, cannot reach her, and that's was my primary concern here. So I think I'm going to end the turn there. Okay. Now, I can move Mogwai up and get a decent shot off on that guy. But I'm going to weaken him first. Hide back there. Weaken him. Mogwai can get a decent shot. I think that the others, if I understand their AI right, they'll probably stay in their walls. I'm going to move her up and take a couple shots at him. Mogwai's crossbow is not quite enough to do the job. Let's see what the dwarf can do. I'm going to move these units up and put them on defense to sort of block counterattacks from the scoundrels. I just want that assassin dead. Mogwai may have to use Vengeful Frost to make sure that happens. In my opinion, that is totally worth it here. Just get him off of the battlefield. And then if everyone else goes on defense, I shouldn't be in any danger. I didn't want him running out and using an assassin strike on one of these guys at the front. Okay. That's fine. They're staying in their walls, which is what I wanted them to do. Now, who's got inflict bleeding wounds? The Tigrin has it. Both Tigrins have... Oh, wow, dang, 3 of them are Tigrins. Inflict bleeding wounds is kind of like a bad thing for me here. Mogwai took some nasty hits. He's going to have to back off. I'm going to reposition a little bit because I could get... This I see as a good spot right here with the elf position behind this. Yeah, I like that spot. It's got a 45% chance to inflict bleeding wounds on there. Everybody else is going to fall back. Yeah, everybody else is falling back. Mogwai needs healing because of all that fire he just took. And I'm going to try to draw fire with these two. Draw fire away from the elf. And focus on getting her as much XP as I possibly can. Ooh, nice critical hit. Alright, how's she doing on XP? She's about halfway to the next level already. I think I can get her there. Mogwai may need to cast another Vengeful Frost to help out at some point, but otherwise I think I'm okay. Slayer's Doubt doesn't really help me very much here. I'm gonna move the that goblin over here because I might be able to make use of a weakened. And are you bleeding? No, you're not. Okay, great. Stay where you are. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm not doing this right. I need to... Now he's crippled. I need them to go after the elf. That's the only way this really works, is if they keep funneling into that one spot right there to go after the elf. Having this bush here is basically in the perfect spot for me, so I want to take as much advantage of it as I can. I'm going to move Mogwai back just a little bit. He's still bleeding. Well, I think he stopped. Okay, that's crippling wounds, so that's the Frostling, which is what I wanted. Doesn't matter if she gets crippled. This is an easy way to grind XP on one unit, who is now 264 out of 275. One more kill should do the trick. She managed to resist bleeding also, which is great. I think in this particular case, I'm going to let the Goblin get a shot off at weakening this guy. Because the longer I can avoid getting bleeding wounds, the better. He might target the Goblin. Yep. And he didn't do much, so... And she leveled up. Alright. Now, she can't level up again in this battle, so I may as well let some other units get some XP. Although this guy may come charging out now that he's the only one left. We'll see. And I still got to remember to steal enchantment. Nope, he's gonna go right there. Alright. I do want to finish this one with as much health on all my units as I can. So I'm going to move her back and Nourishing Meal Mogwai, who is now kind of super buffed. Mogwai can reach either one of those tiles, but he can't quite reach... I don't think either of them can quite reach that guy. Alright, well... Oh wait, yeah I can. If he gets out of the way, Mogwai can move here. Open that up, and then the Warg Rider can reach the Scoundrel. That will work. He'll probably sprint and go after Mogwai, so I'm going to try to prevent that from happening by blocking his only route through. Okay. And then I just need to remember to steal enchantment. He may not move, so I'm going to try to steal enchantment now. Oh wait, I can't. He's out of range of anyone who actually has an enchantment. Oh well. Might not happen this battle. We'll see what he does. He may just hold... Well, yeah, he will sprint, of course. He will sprint. Never mind. Okay. Steal the enchantment from her. And... let the dwarf get a few shots in. Alright. Mogwai gets a new item. Oh, I got a dwarf prospector too. Not bad. That is actually probably a better scout. Could have taken the gold as well, but having the extra defense isn't bad. Mogwai could use it. But I am happy to have that dwarf prospector because he'll make for a much better scout. Ah, there's gold out there, but I'm one space away and I need it on this turn. That's okay. I'm still going to need it regardless. But there's also a necromancer camp out there that I probably need to go deal with. So I think my army's going to have to come out there regardless. Alright. We'll get Mogwai and these guys back together. I don't think I'm going to pick a fight with those dwarves just yet. I don't think I could take them, especially not with only one group. I'm talking about a tier 3 firstborn in there, as well as 2 boar riders. Yeah, I'm not feeling that one. So I think these guys are going to probably double back I'm going to double back, clear the column of champions so I can pick up that spider so that it can come along with me. And then I'll go out and deal with the necromancers, and then we'll kind of reevaluate from there where everyone needs to be going. There's a lot of stuff along this route that's been pretty nice. So I'm going to cast Inspire Loyalty, which has impacted my mana, and I'm now losing mana per turn. But I'm gaining gold, which is good. I just need to... Well, it actually, now at this point, I need to split up my armies a little bit better, because the heroes don't actually cost gold upkeep. So I'm not really... The only thing I'm saving money on is the War Grider, which actually has a volunteer from a medal. Wait, do a lot of goblins get that? If that's the case, then I may have wasted... Well, these guys don't. So I'm saving a little bit of money on the Blight Doctors. And I'm pretty sure the Dwarf doesn't. But he's going to be off on his own scouting. Huh. Most Goblin units actually seem to get that on their own. So that brings me to a slight change of plans. I'm going to go back, because we need the Theocrat out here to deal with that for sure. But maybe not the Druid so much. So what I'm going to do is send the Druid back so she can rejoin another Blight Doctor, and she'll hopefully have a Spider at that point. So we're going to clear that column of champions first. We'll split units up a little bit. It doesn't really matter because... Wait, I did lose some upkeep there. Why? Oh, because I left the Blight Doctor behind. Okay, well, we'll put him with the hero, so I save that 6 gold going into the next turn. Every little bit helps, I guess. Okay, she leveled up, so now is when I want to grab Befriend Animal. And probably also Awaken Spirit, if I can manage to get the animal. Awaken Spirit, it gets +3 melee damage and 500 morale until the end of combat. What I'm going to do is wait and see if I get the animal, because if I don't get it, then picking something else instead of Awaken Spirit, like more range strength, would be more beneficial. So if I get the animal, then we'll pick that up. Raise Militia is researched, just in time for me to run out of mana. And this city is just outside of what I can afford to pay for. I think what I'm going to do is take a turn, chill out, and I can make a shrine. It'll take a couple turns, but it would also offset some of the mana issues that I'm about to run into. So if I make a shrine, that would be nice. I also really want to make a builder, though, and that only takes... You know what? The builder I actually would prefer, because even if I make the builder, I'm still going to make enough gold between that and the gold pile to get the vassal on this Goblin City on the next turn, because the builder is not very expensive. So between that and the gold pile, I'll be able to vassal these guys. And then the builder can go out here and not only get me 10 mana, well, it'll get me 5 mana from the fire node, but it'll also get me a bunch of extra gold per turn. So I still think I want that builder, like, right away. And then, for research, I think Terraformer is a good next choice to pick up, probably. So I can start benefiting from wetlands. It's gonna maybe be a little while before I can make particularly good use of it, on account of the fact that I'm gonna be low on magic. So that's gonna kind of be the next thing I need to work on. But it'll be okay. I think this is probably the best way to do it. Plus, I'll get more mana. Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, I'm gonna start working on Transformed Water Node rather than raising Militia right away, because I want to get this as a water node as soon as I can. So we'll put a hold on Raise Militia just for now. You guys can camp out in that city, and we'll end the turn, and as long as these guys don't get jumped, I can get that gold pile, and this should all work. If I've planned it all out correctly, we'll see. At least I'm clearing out all this stuff to my north that could threaten my cities. It does feel good to at least have that gone. I think those libraries are probably a bit above my level at this point, though, so I'm going to wait on those. Okay, so, city... Oh, what? Hang on, they got a quest for me. A vassal? Now they've got a quest. I do want that big beetle, though. This may change my plans. Close that for a second. Let's move the prospector up because I want that gold regardless. And maybe move him back. It doesn't seem like there's anything in that direction for a while. If he could slip past... Actually, the Marauder is the one with... See, here's the thing. I would like to use the Marauder to try to explore on account of his cave concealment. It should theoretically be hard for things to spot. Well, never mind. The Wraiths have true sight anyway, so... But it's a question of whether the computer is programmed to react to the presence of your unit if you have invisibility on. The general consensus that I've received from most of the people watching my videos so far, some of which have actually tested this to some extent, is that things that provide concealment don't really matter against the computers at all. I would like to believe that that's not the case, but I could see it that it probably is. I wish I knew what was over there, because I really want to just run this prospector past. You know what? I got him for free, so let's just take the chance and run him as far down the road as I can. The Marauder will stay here with the others. I believe everyone is going to head back to do that quest, because I don't know how hard that's going to be, but I think I'm probably going to need all hands on deck. And if it gets me a free vassal proposal, as well as a big beetle on top of that for free, I don't see how I can pass that up. So I'm going to accept and then book it straight to that. Alright. This is going to mean I'm channeling for water node when I don't really need to. Alright, well, it's going to be okay. I'm going to move these guys back like this. I can take a peek in here just to see. 2 evangelists, 3 nope. Bye. Abort attack. See ya. Alright, now make sure we attack with the right stack, because I want this group to get all the promotions. Okay, manual combat, and I should be able to get me another spider. Now, there was some additional units in here because they had goblin marauders, but I'm not too worried about that. I have to be a little careful, though, because this is 6 on 7, so it's not like it's a walk in the park. And I do have to deal with a spider that can phase and then web somebody, which is a problem, for sure. I think the best solution is to kill things fast. And they also got a goblin skewer, which I just don't want to deal with. Alright, with these spiders, I found that it's often best to bunch up so that your units can sort of protect whatever unit gets webbed. You just have to kind of assume that someone will get webbed. This guy won't if he goes all the way down here. He's out of the spider's range because they can only move one space and then phase. I'm going to move her here, so she can still get 3 shots off on the warg. I would like to kill him on this first round of combat if that's possible. And with Mogwai, I think it is. Okay, excellent. The boar's going to come charging in. We need defense up front, so I'm going to put the Theocrat, this guy, and this guy right up here in the front. And I've at least got one unit down. And that's probably okay for now. I think I would kind of like to get... I wonder if I could weaken the boar without too much risk. At least they don't have range units. That makes this a little bit easier. The boar's movement would allow him to pretty easily go around the Marauder and hit the Blight Doctor. So I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. But doing that would allow the Blight Doctor to basically guaranteed kill the boar next turn. So I'm thinking about moving the butchers to that spot. This is actually probably better anyway, now that I think of it. Because depending on who that spider tries to web, it might teleport in the middle of a bunch of stuff, and then I would have an opportunity to... Yeah, I'm going to do that. Then I would have a better opportunity to react to it. And I want you on defense. The spider might try to web. No, he can't reach him. He'll probably go for the elf, actually. Because the Marauder could also hit the elf. And the spider's got a damage bonus versus the elf. So I'm going to probably want to be prepared to help my elf hero out. It's going to be annoying if he webs her, though, because that's going to make it that much harder for her to befriend it. But I don't know that there's a way I can prevent that from happening, since he could get to any of these three tiles. If he also moves and well, no, I think that's the best I can do right now. I'm just gonna have to kind of hope she doesn't get webbed. She got webbed. Of course she got webbed. Okay. I wonder if webbed is an enchantment I can steal from that spider. Or from my hero. I don't think it is. I don't think it counts really as an enchantment. Alright, now you're just being useless over here. Come on, buddy. See, I don't have a way to, like, entangle that guy or anything. The best I can do is use up his action points, which is at least a little easier to do with the goblins, considering... Oh, he's probably the unit I want to use against the Marauder on account of Overwhelm, but I've also got that Skewer coming that I need to watch out for. I don't think I'm going to be able to safely get those spiders, as much as I would like to. With the fact that she got webbed, there's not really a safe way to do it while keeping them alive. I need my units focused on killing this other crap that's running them down. Well... Okay, probably. There might be a way. Slayer's Doubt doesn't help. But I'm thinking I'm actually going to be able to deal with a lot of units pretty easily. This Butcher by himself, positioned right there, would actually fare very well against all of their attacks, because he's got lifesteal. And he wouldn't lose defensive status until the next turn, even if he took 6 hits. He'd still technically be on defense. This guy could easily kill the boar. He basically takes these two out of commission by himself. The Theocrat... Okay, the Warg could pretty easily go after the Marauder and overwhelm him. But the spider is still a problem. It threatens the Warg. I'm wondering if the Theocrat can get the spider somehow. Alright, I think for starters, I want to kill this boar. I'm going to do that regardless. Get him out of the way. See, Mogwai could kill that spider right now with no trouble, and I just wouldn't even have to worry about it. How long is she webbed for? 2 turns? Alright, if you go out here and defend, it doesn't necessarily stop that skewer from coming after me. I think if I'm going to do anything with that dwarf, it's going to be messing with the spider. Basically moving in, taking a hit, then backing off. Mogwai can turn it around to make that a little easier to do. These guys could still attack that stack. Overwhelm will... If the dwarf moves, I'd have to be able to move the dwarf in and out 3 times to take away all action points. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 moves he can make. He could go 1, 2, that's 1, 3, 4, that's 2. He couldn't get... He would not be able to remove all of that spider's action points. Now the warg could... If the warg moves once, and the warg still has all his movement left. So there's a weird way that I think I might be able to do this. You know what? I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna at least give it a try. I'm gonna assume that skewer is going to be a problem, but I haven't quite decided where this butcher's going to go, but I think I have a really weird idea for how this could all work. It's going to require Mogwai to run all the way around and turn these guys around once. But if Mogwai does that, and then hits them once, he can do a sizable amount of damage. That will allow the warg to kill them without retaliation, which makes it a bit safer for the warg to take a bite from those spiders. Then I can move him in here, in and out, in, and then out and back. So the spider has no movement left. Then the warg is now free to kill those marauders, and he can do so from whatever angle he wants. So the skewer doesn't really threaten anyone. He may kind of threaten that unit. The marauder threatens no one, other than the blight doctor, which I don't really care about here. So I'm going to move the wargs back, because they're probably the next unit that needs to take hits from the spiders. And I can actually prevent that unit from hitting any of my others at all by simply positioning this guy here and going on defense. And then you can now heal yourself. And you may need to use Touch by Faith on the next turn. Okay. Alright, easy kill there. Skewer's gone. Now it's just me, the marauder, and the spider. I think I'm gonna be able to do this. Now, I am still dealing with poison damage, so... and I think a decent amount of it. So Touch by Faith is still helpful here. I can't heal with anybody, but I could at least Touch by Faith on... Actually, what I'm going to do is move them away. Well... yeah, this should work. Yeah. So if I use Touch by Faith on these guys, that lets them move away. They take a little less damage from the poison. And I'm going to let, just to keep their health kind of topped off, I'm going to let Mogwai take the last hit, I think. I could even let them attack the elf, but they'll do a lot of damage to that elf. So we'll circle all the way around with them, hit those guys in the back. These Blight Doctors should be able... Well, they can still steal an enchantment from somebody, so I may want them to do that. Mogwai can take this final hit. And just kind of shrug that. Oh, I forgot. He's got martial arts. I actually should have been using Mogwai for... at least on this turn. He couldn't last turn, but on this turn he could have been more useful for that. Then he can kill the Marauder. Make sure they're out of action points. My elf should have Befriend Animal back on the next turn. And I'm going to probably just... Well, no, I'm not going to hit the spiders. There's no reason to. I could kill them at any time. I'm going to steal Bestow Iron Heart from these guys. And he just ranked up, so that's great. I'm going to move the Marauder here. And I think on the next turn, I'm going to weaken the spider, because I think that lowers their resistance. And she's back with Befriend Animal ready to go. Yes, that does lower their resistance, so that makes conversion a bit more likely. What is the odds now? 70%? Mogwai, is there any way I can lower it a little further? Rot, I know Mogwai didn't have anything useful. Slayer's Doubt lowers movement. And lowers morale. But morale doesn't have an effect on conversion chance, as far as I know. So, I think this is as good as it gets. Unless she has some spell that could... I definitely don't want to Savage Rage the thing. Okay. Got it. Oh, okay. If I had gone through all that and didn't get that spider, I would have been upset. Okay, but we got it. We got it. We got a spider. That was an awful lot of work for one spider, but I'm pretty happy with that. And I think at this point, I'm pretty happy with this episode. I've got a whole bunch more leader points. I've got quest I can do for free vassal down there, which frees up money for my city to do other things. The one area that I gotta worry about right now is mana. I do have a builder ready to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and send him out here. Unfortunately, he needs one more space to get to the spot I want him to be in, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I'll at least send him out that way. Okay. And I thought about maybe having him build a road, but not this early in the game. I feel like I'm probably going to need my gold for other things. So, my capital city is good to produce whatever now. Probably, I think I want to make... I might actually build an untouchable, since right now I can afford to pay for them easier than I can summon them with Raised Militia. Besides the fact that I'm kind of casting Water Node. But let's take a look at... you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until the next episode to go through all the hero upgrades. I think this is a decent stopping off point. We're just kind of crossing our fingers and hoping that this prospector doesn't get himself killed by undead. But yeah, I got a spider. That's good news. So I think I'm going to leave it there, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that episode. That last battle I thought was particularly interesting because I didn't think I was going to be able to get that spider, but get creative enough with those attacks of opportunity and you can make it work. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed that episode, and I will see you next time. Shout out to all my Patreon supporters, including Tier 3 supporters Blitz, Braden, Adam James, Jim Bro, Tarsak, and Tibby and Army. Thanks so much, everybody.